Hey there, Gemini, and welcome to your July 2018 Love Reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or your return viewer or subscriber. I hope that this message resonates for you. If you find that it isn't, I would encourage you to check out your moon sign, your rising, or even your Venus, because sometimes those planets are more prominent in your chart. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into your reading. If you find that it is resonating and you would like to get a more personalized reading, you can go ahead and contact me at divinelovetarot@gmail.com. All my information is in the description bar below the video. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, the first card we have is going to represent your current energy for this month or whenever you're watching this video. And we have the Tower. Okay, something destructive has happened. Something that changes everything. Something happens suddenly. And you know, it could be something as simple as you suddenly realize that you have feelings for someone and it just overwhelms you, okay, because you just don't expect it. You never realize, like someone who you thought all this time that you didn't want to be with or that you didn't really like, you look at them and you realize, wow, I really love this person, or you're overwhelmed by your feelings. But for the most part, the Tower represents an event, something that, you know, usually shakes up a relationship or ruins a relationship. So something's going on, Gemini. Let's go ahead and clarify. And we get the Knight of Wands in the reverse, okay? So it could be something to do with, you know, lying or cheating. You know, the Knight of Wands in reverse is someone who is considered a player, and not even just a player, because the Knight of Wands can be a player, but the Knight of Wands in reverse, you know, will basically lie and manipulate and do whatever to get, you know, the sexual encounter that they're looking for. And then once they get it, they're gone. So there could be something to that effect, or maybe someone who represents the Knight of Wands is the person that delivers this bad news or whatever is going on right now for you, Gemini. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see what you're crossing and what your challenge is. Justice in reverse. So, you know, this is some type of karma, but your challenge is to, you know, do the right thing. Okay. When I see justice or even justice in reverse, it's about doing the right things. It's about weighing the pros and the cons, okay? Go ahead and clarify that, and we get the Hierophant, okay? So for some of you, is marriage the next step, okay? But it is about doing the right thing, because that's what the Hierophant represents. The Hierophant represents... Am I saying Hierophant? Well, whatever I was saying before, the Hierophant represents... doing what society expects of you. So I feel like right now, you know, maybe you're doing something that is unexpected, okay, that society doesn't expect, or someone has done something that is not traditionally expected or accepted by society. All right, let's go ahead and move on to your past energy. We have the High Priestess, okay? So in the past, some of you may have dealt with a Pisces or a Cancer. If not, then it could just be that this was a time where you were definitely in tune with yourself, okay? I like to call this your, you know, standing in your power card, okay? You were standing in your truth. So let's go ahead and clarify that, and we get the Five of Wands, okay? So there may have even been a lot of competition. You might have had a lot of people fighting over you because you were just, you know, when you're confident and sure of yourself and really standing in your power, that's very attractive to other people. So you might have had a situation where a lot of people were competing for your attention. For others, especially for, you know, this represents someone who you felt was unattainable, someone that you just felt like you could never get, okay? Maybe you felt like you were competing for this person's attention and you just didn't seem to be able to get it, because the High Priestess can represent someone who is hard to get, whether they play hard to get or whether they're just so self-sufficient and confident and they don't necessarily want a relationship, or they just have so many people interested in them, they don't have to choose. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on to your future energy. And we get the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So this is moving towards commitment, slowly moving towards a commitment. So maybe for some of you, this doing the right thing is, you know, getting married, or maybe that's the next step, getting married or getting engaged. Maybe that's what society expects for you, especially if you're in a couple. If you're already in a relationship, then this just represents the time where things begin to become a little bit routine, okay? And, you know, depending on the couple, that's not a bad thing, because some couples embrace routines, where for some, you know, this can be seen as, you know, a bit of boredom, all right? So let's go ahead and clarify that. Four of Swords, the calm before the storm, quietness, peacefulness. So I think this is just when you guys hit your stride if you're in a relationship. If you're single, this may be you contemplating, you know, your path to becoming in, you know, or to becoming part of a couple, or in becoming part of a committed relationship. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't talk today. It's like I'm totally tongue-tied. But for some of you, the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is going to commit to you eventually. They're very devoted. They're very stable, dependable. But they don't rush into commitment, okay? So it's going to take some time. All right, moving on to what you want. And we get the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I'm going to pull a clarifier, because that's one of the cards I do not like to see. And then we get the Four of Pentacles in reverse. What do you want, Gemini? All right, so for some of you, the Queen of Swords, it could be another air sign, okay? It could be... Maybe for some of you, you guys want to shake things up. I mean, because the Tower is here. So when I see the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, it's like you want to shake things up. You want to either curse someone out or cause someone to be so angry that they curse you out. So it's like almost either, you know, and I want to know, I will get to that in the next card, whether this is conscious or subconscious, because it's like, why would you want someone to be the Queen of Swords in reverse on you? Okay, that's one of the nastiest, most bitter personality types in tarot. So why is that what you're calling in? With the Four of Pentacles in reverse, you know, this can represent someone being vulnerable, but it can also represent jealousy and those types of emotions. So it's like, do you want to make someone jealous? So it's almost like you want to hurt somebody, Gemini. So let's go and see what's going on internal. Your internal factor, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, okay? So this is you feeling frustrated, feeling like you don't want to put any more effort into something, okay? You feel like you've put enough effort into something, and maybe you're not even seeing the results that you want to see. All right, go ahead and clarify that. And we get the World. So the World represents the ending of a chapter sometimes, okay? So for some of you, it's like you're done, all right? You're not putting any more effort into a situation because this is the end of it for you. You're closing this chapter, whether you're closing the chapter on how things are or you're closing the chapter on a relationship. It's time to put an end to one phase. And, you know, I always look at this as like the end of an era, okay? Let's go ahead and see what your advice is for this reading, Gemini. And we get Death in reverse. So this is about not resisting the change, okay? There's changes going on and you may be trying to resist it, but with the Death in reverse, this is telling you to go with the change, okay? Because sometimes you need some changes. And you know what? If you're not going to go with the change, that's fine, because the Tower card is here to shake things up and create changes anyway. So it's about transformation. You know, sometimes we have to move on to the next phase, okay? We have to move on to the next phase of our development as human beings. We have to move on to the next phase of a relationship. So if it's time to move out of, you know, dodging commitment and move towards commitment, then that's what it definitely is time for, okay? And for some of you, you will definitely be contemplating this commitment in the future. And I feel like for some of you, this may be like a theme in your life where people are like, okay, guys, you know, you've been either in this relationship, it's time to commit, or you've been single, it's time to settle down, all right? Go ahead and go to the external factor, we get the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a relationship with a good potential, okay? This is something that is not only looks good, but it has the potential because it's a grounded beginning, okay? It's a stable, grounded beginning. It's not just an emotional connection. It's not just a sexual connection. Yes, there is definitely sexual chemistry here with this card, but there's other factors that determine that this would be potentially a good situation, okay? So for some of you, whatever relationship you're in, it does have the potential to go the distance, okay? So if you've been trying to get out of it, or if you're thinking about ruining things, maybe you don't want to do that because you do have the potential to have something with this person. All right, we clarify that now, but then we get the Ace of Swords in the reverse, okay? So you have to be careful because maybe you guys need to work on your communication, all right? And with this Ace of Swords in the reverse, that is definitely severe miscommunication, okay? Or not even miscommunication, but like negative communication. So maybe the situation where there is a potential here, but because of, maybe this competition in the past, maybe, whatever it is that you want to communicate that is not going to be so nice, that's going to affect the potential outcome of this situation. But here, I do see you contemplating the commitment. So whether it's to this particular person or just in general, you're not really going to get away from this commitment storyline, I want to say, theme, issue, all right? Hopes and fears, we get the Knight of Cups in reverse. I think you fear that someone's going to lie to you. You fear being with someone who is not only a liar, but pretends to, love when they don't love, okay? That's what the Knight of Cups represents. They just pretend to be in love so that they can get, whatever person or whatever it is that they're after. All right, we go ahead and clarify that, and we get the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So severe unfairness, a lack of balance in a relationship. Okay, one person has the upper hand and the other person does not. Someone not being treated fairly. Okay, so that's your fear, is that you're going to be in a relationship with someone who not only lies to you, but they don't treat you right. They don't treat you the way that you want to be treated. All right, moving on to the outcome. And we've got the Ten of Cups in the reverse, okay? So there's some disappointment that's going to come. And with this Tower here, I'm not surprised by it, okay? Because whatever this Tower card is bringing is going to be disappointing. So, especially with this Ace of Swords, there's going to be obviously some type of negative communication going on here. And then with what you want being the Queen of Swords in reverse, it's definitely not going to be pretty. Okay, clarify that we get the Page of Pentacles in reverse, so it's a loss of focus. At one point you were probably focused on this person or this relationship. Now with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, that means that it's a loss of focus. In relationships, it's that boredom. It's the fact, it's like not even just boredom, it's waking up and realizing that either you put too much time and effort into something, or, this person isn't who you thought they were. The relationship isn't what you thought it would be. Okay, Gemini? So, you kind of like snap out of it and you realize that you're not really satisfied with this person or this situation. And it seems like you're going to be very vocal about that anyway. Okay, so that is the reading. From here, I'm going to pull clarifiers. If you would like to purchase that extended reading, you have the, like I said, the information is in my description bar below the video. All right, guys, but definitely, something to think about is how we communicate. And, sometimes things happen that upset us, but, the way we communicate that anger and that hurt can really go a long way into, whether we're going to fix things going forward or whether we're going to destroy things going forward. Okay, Gemini, so let's just keep that in mind. Unless you definitely want to destroy things, then go, fuck it up if that's what you want to do. Excuse my French. But if in the long run that's not the outcome that you want, then let's just be careful how we express our disappointment to people. All right, and I will see you guys at the next reading. Bye, Gemini.